Do you feel like you lack awareness? We just spent a whole video talking about what awareness is. But now, how do you develop it? In Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, he says, rather than being your thoughts and emotions, be awareness behind them. That's great advice, Mr. Tolle. But how? How do we do that? I mean, is there a superpower for awareness? Superman has super strength. Flash has super speed. How come we don't have a super awareness superpower? All kidding aside, I'm going to suggest that on this journey of growth and awareness, that ultimately you are the expert in your life. You know what you need. You know what is best for you. If you just clear out the noisy internal voices of judgment that say things like, you should and you're supposed to, your inner knowing will be your best guide. But even cleaning out the cobwebs of judgment is a process. So be kind, compassionate, and allowing with yourself. As someone who has had a lifelong obsession with getting to a destination, getting to the next goal, climbing the next mountain, and results are all that matter, take it from me. It isn't a race. Find joy in your journey of growth, because the purpose of life isn't a destination or a specific outcome. The purpose of life is joy, and that can be planted, cultivated, and reaped every day, regardless of what is going on around us. The challenge is often we have spent so much time and energy and effort in a state of unawareness, planting obligations, insecurities, hurts, and dozens of other things that we are shocked, exhausted, and confused as to why we are not reaping joy in our lives. So how do we create the elusive awareness that ultimately supports us in our growth journey? Recognizing that awareness at times can be painful. Viktor Frankl, in his timeless book, Man's Search for Meaning, says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. There is so much power in those few sentences. The question is, how do we get to a beautiful place of space and response instead of constantly being in the misery of reacting? We actually have a wonderful 7-week program called Innate Healing that walks you through step by step how to do just that. But I'm going to share my favorite 3 tools with you today, right here, right now. First tool we're going to talk about is meditation. I started meditating when I had my 3rd child, and I was tired and I was overwhelmed. We had just started a new business. Jonathan had just written a book. We had a newborn and a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I was homeschooling them, and I was managing our businesses, and I was exhausted. I was also overwhelmed and high strung. And I was like, I'm going to start meditating, this whole mindfulness thing. It's supposedly cool. This was over a decade ago. And every single time I would do a meditation, I would fall asleep. I kid you not, every single time. And at first I had a lot of self-judgment about that. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You're not meditating right. You're falling asleep. You can't even listen to it. And you know what I realized years later is that is exactly what I needed. I needed to fall asleep. That was the support that I needed to give me the space to take a moment. And it was in that habit that I was creating, even in falling asleep, that was giving me space. And in that habit of creating space, it helped me in my moments of feeling high-strung and overwhelmed to remind myself of what that space looked like so that I could choose my response instead of reacting. So what does this look like for you? There are a lot of different types of meditation out there. Try different meditation processes and see what works for you. I do best with guided meditations, and I still fall asleep sometimes, and that's great. They are some of the best naps. There are multiple free apps out there. One of my favorite apps is called Insight Timer. There's a free version, just use that. A couple of my favorite meditations are healing through letting go, finding answers, and loving and listening to yourself. Meditation is a powerful tool for resetting your nervous system and creating a practice of space between stimulus and response, like Viktor Frankl talks about. This is a wonderful habit that plants the seeds of awareness that are so needed in cultivating the life you want. It is even something I do with my children. Some of their favorite meditations are bubble meditation, build a sandcastle, and gratitude in the secret garden. Remember, you are the expert in your life for what works for you. Keep trying different modalities of meditation without judgment until you get something that fits. And maybe meditation isn't the best fit for you. Try mindfully writing or journaling. The next time you have an overwhelming, exhausting, or explosive experience, basically the next time you are triggered, and you are tempted to lash out, which would be a fight response, or avoid, which would be a flight response, or shut down, which would be a freeze response, or take responsibility for things that are not yours, which is a fawn response. I want you to take the time to write about what is going on for you. What were you experiencing? Start wherever you want, but I want you to get to your why. Why did you show up that way? What beliefs do you have about yourself that caused you to react that way? Where does that belief come from? Why do I believe that? Show yourself love and compassion during this exploratory process. There is a good chance it's going to feel incredibly vulnerable and bring the monsters that are our deepest fears out of the closet and from under the bed. So the first two tools are all about peacefully turning inward, which is great and valuable. But sometimes before we peacefully turn inward, we need to express the pent-up emotions that we are holding inside. There is nothing wrong with outwardly expressing strong emotions. It just needs to be done in a healthy way. This is true for me. One of my self-care items is I attend an MMA gym. I love doing Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Occasionally I do some Muay Thai. I am so often so tired and exhausted at the end of the day. I get up probably way too early. I work all day long, building our businesses, supporting you guys, homeschooling our kids, sometimes renovating a house, which, just is one too many things. And I am exhausted and I've had no time for myself in the entire day. And I kind of want to just go to bed. But I tell myself, you are exhausted, you are spent, you have been doing all these things to serve other people. You need to do something for yourself. And it kind of sounds counterintuitive, but I will push myself to go to the gym because I know that outward expressive emotion in sparring with other people and beating each other up in a safe space brings me so much happiness, and I feel so revived. This is also true for some of my kids. I have a very outward expressive child that needs to be the authority in his life. And when he's having a hard time and he's fighting with his siblings and he's frankly picking fights, I ask him, do you need to go for a run? Do you need to go for a bike ride? Do you want to hit Punching Man? Yes, we have Punching Man in our house. It is a necessity, right? If you are someone with high energy and expressive outward motion, it is so powerful to learn at a young age or any age that there is nothing wrong with that you just need to learn how to channel it in a healthy manner. What can this look like for you? What it looks like for me is joining an MMA gym. It could be screaming into a pillow. It could be smashing plates against the wall. I suggest getting ones at a thrift store or going to a rage room. But here's the thing, working through that outward expression of anger or frustration is what allows the vulnerable emotion underneath to come to the surface. What have you found that works well for you? What new things are you going to try? Keep in mind, awareness is not the destination. It is a stop on the journey of becoming our best selves, one that we will revisit again and again and again. Once there is the dawn of awareness, the question is, what do we do with it? You then have the opportunity to inquire, is this serving me? Is this something I want to keep as part of me? Or do I release it and replace it with something that is more supportive and nurturing? This is a simple process that we go through step by step in our 7-week innate healing program. If you feel like you would like support in your healing journey, please click the link below to schedule a free 15-minute call with one of our therapists. And will you do me a favor? If this video has been supportive for you, will you share it with a friend or loved one in your life? And remember to keep shining. We need your light.